Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, grade 5. How are you doing today? Today is Monday, 14th of December 2020, and this is lesson 7.8, add mixed number. Add mixed number. First of all, open page 413 and be ready, please. First of all, we need to understand the meaning of mixed number. Mixed number. As you can see, the word mix means two different components, okay? But what about mixed number? It means I have two kinds of number mixed. So that's why we call it as a mixed number. So simply the mixed number is a whole and a fraction. So a mixed number means a whole and a fraction. A whole like 2, 3, 5, 10, any whole. Fraction like 1 over 2, 3 over 4, 5 over 8. So when we mix them together, so we have a mixed number. So give a look here, 5 and 1/3. The 5 is a whole, and 1/3 is a fraction. So both of them we call as a mixed number. In this lesson, inshallah, we're going to add the mixed number. Like when I say add 5 and 1/3 plus 8 and 1/2, we need to know what is the answer, what is the sum of the addition in here. So this lesson, guys, depends on the previous lesson, how to add fractions with unlike denominator. I'm going to explain it now in a different page. And I'm going to give some examples before I start in our session. If you remember when I say 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5, I add the two fractions in front of you. I make sure that I have a common denominator. I have 5 down and 5 down, so it's okay. It's easy now for me. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And we keep the same denominator. So it's 3 over 5. So what happened in this lesson? I'm going to add two whole number. If I sit here, this is 3 and 1 over 5 plus 6 and 2 over 5. What I'm going to do? I'm going to follow the same way exactly. First of all, I'm going to add the fractions first. 1 over 5 plus 2 over 5. With the same way, 1 plus 2 equals 3 over 5. Mister, you added directly. Yes, because I have a common denominator. Now it's time to add the whole. 3 plus 6 equals 9. I think it's super easy. Now, what if I don't have a common denominator in here? What I'm going to do? Let's take an example using fraction only, then we're going to take an example using a mixed number. When I say 1 over 2 plus 3 over 8, how can I solve it? First of all, I have two different denominators. I can't add. I should have a common denominator first. How can I make it, Mister? I'm going to multiply the 2 by 8, the 8 by 2, as we did before. I said, yes, it works, but you need to simplify later. So what should I do? Can you make the 2 becomes 8 by multiplication or division? Can you make the 2 becomes 8? In the timetable, 2 times 4. Yes, I can multiply by 4. So multiply here by 4 and multiply up by 4. Why I multiply up and down? To keep the fraction balance. Means to have equivalent fraction. Now, what is the new fraction in here? It's 4 over 8. This one is 3 over 8. I keep it the same because I didn't do any operation for it. Now add normally. 4 plus 3 equals 7 over 8. So we studied this part before. What is the related part to today's lesson? I have a mixed number like 3.5 plus 5 and 3 over 8. How can I solve it? As I mentioned up, first of all, add the fractions. I'm going to add these two fractions first. Forget about the mixed number. The 5 and the 3, forget about them now. How can I add these two fractions? I'm going to multiply here by 4 and multiply here by 4. Now, the new fraction will be 3 and 4 over 8. And here, 5 and 3 over 8. Add normally. Add the fractions first. 3 plus 4 is 7 over 8. Now it's time to add the whole. Okay? 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay? I hope it's clear. We have another kind of fractions as well. When I say for you, add 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3. Can I make the 2 becomes a 3? Actually, no, I can't. So what should I do in this case? I'm going to multiply the 2 by 3 and the 3 by 2 to have 6. The 6 is a common denominator now. Now, don't forget to multiply up as well, both denominator and numerator by the same number, and here by 3. Now it's going to be 3 over 6 plus 2 over 6 equals 5 over 6. Okay, I think it's easy. For today, guys, we have an extra whole. Means I have a mixed number. We have 2.5 plus 7 1/3. As I told you, add the fractions first. Add the fractions first. But Mr., the 2 cannot be 3. Sorry, the 3 cannot be 5. What should I do in this case? I'm going to multiply this one by 3, up and down. And this one by 5, up and down. Okay, now it is going to be 2 and 3 over 15. The common denominator is 15 now, plus 7 and 5 over 15. Now add normally the fractions first. Don't forget this. The fractions first. 3 plus 5 is 8 over 15. 2 plus 7 is 9. So I think it's easy and clear. So these ideas, we're going to solve the questions regarding these ideas, and I hope you'll understand the whole lesson, inshallah. We have a little bit new part. We're going to solve it during the examples, okay? Let's move to the first example in our lesson. We have in here, in solve and share, Joaquin used 2 types of flour in a muffin recipe. How much flour did he use in all? So we have in here, this guy used 2 types of flour. 2 types of flour. This is milk, butter, eggs, flour in here and flour in here. So I'm going to add these 2 components. Because you see it in the question, he used the 2 types, okay? And he wants in the question, how much flour did he use in all? In all means I'm going to add. So I'm going to add 1 and 1/2 plus 1 and 2/3. As we agreed now, we are going to add the fractions first. Add the fractions. How can I add 1 over 2 and 2 over 3? How can I make it? First of all, make sure that you have a common denominator. Do you have a common denominator in this question? 2 and 3? No. So what should I do? Can I make the 2 becomes a 3 using the times table? Definitely no. So what should I do? Here I'm going to multiply by 3, up and down. And here by 2. Okay, multiply the first by the second by the first. Now, what are the new fractions? 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Over 2 times 3 is 6. Plus, this is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. And 3 times 2 is 6. Now you can add normally. Okay, this is add the fractions first. 4 plus 3 is 7 over 6. 1 plus 1 is 2. I finished, mister. Yeah, it's easy and clear. But we have a new part, and take care in it. The 7 is bigger than the 6. The 7 is bigger than the 6. The denominator is bigger than the denominator. What should I do in this case? It is called improper fraction. Improper fraction, I'm going to make it as a mixed number again. What should I do? Simply add 1. Add 1 to the whole and minus both of the numbers. You can use division definitely, but the easiest way is to add 1, so it becomes a 3 to the whole. And minus 7 minus 6 is 1. And the denominator never changed. So it's a 3 and 1 over 6. I hope it's clear. Moving to the next question. In here, in look back, how is adding mixed number with unlike denominators the same as adding fraction with unlike denominators, and how they are different? Guys, the question simply, how is adding mixed numbers is the same like adding fraction, definitely with unlike denominators. So I can say in both, you find a common denominator then add. Okay, this is we do in both, in fractions and in mixed number. Find the common denominator, then add. But what is the difference between them? We need to add whole numbers in the mixed number. In mixed number, we add whole and fractions, whole numbers and fractions. I think it's clear and easy. What is the difference between adding fractions only and adding mixed number? In adding fractions, we don't add mixed, we don't add wholes. But in mixed number, we add wholes. We're moving to the next page and convince me. We have in here, Kyle used 9 as an estimate. And take care of this word, estimate. We're going to estimate this equation, okay? So 3 and 1, 6, 1 over 6, plus 5 and 7 over 8. She said that it's 9, okay? The exact answer was 9 and 1 over 24. Is his calculated answer reasonable? Okay, so we have in here 3 and 1 over 6 plus 5 and 7 over 8. 3 and 1 over 6, guys, is very close to 3. 5 and 7 over 8 is very close to 6. So 3 plus 6 equals 9. Okay, let's move to the exact answer. 9 and 1 over 24. Guys, look, the 1 over 24 is very close to 0. And this is 9. So 9 plus 0 equals 9. So his estimate is 9. And the true answer is 9. Is very close to 9. So his estimate is reasonable. I think it's easy and clear. Let's move to the next part in here, which is the guided practice. We have a regular question. How is adding mixed number like adding fractions and whole numbers? So it's the same exactly as we solved before. How is adding mixed like adding fraction? So we find common denominator, then add fraction. After that, the difference in here is then adding or add whole numbers. Okay, so we have here in both adding fraction and adding mixed number or whole, we need to find the common denominator first, then we add. I think it's easy. Move to example 2. Look at the example on page 414. Why is the denominator 6 is used in equivalent fraction? So give a look here to the previous example, guys. I have in here the question in the example, add 2 and 2/3 plus 1 and 1/2. How can I add these two numbers? Both are mixed number now. How can I add them? First of all, I'm going to add the fraction. But mister, both have different denominator, 3 and 2. What should I do in this case? I'm going to multiply this one by 2, up and down. And here by 3, up and down. Now, what is the new fractions in here? It will be 2 and 4/6. And here is 1 and 3/6. So give a look here, guys. He said in the question, why 6 is down? Why choose 6? Because 6 is a multiple of 2 and 3. The 6 is a multiple for both 2 and 3. Okay? I hope it's clear. It's time for questions, guys. Moving to question 3. Okay. This is an easy question, guys. Don't worry. It's easy, super easy. I need to add 1 and 7/8 plus 1 and 1/4. I have space in here, so I'm going to write them back. 1 and 7/8 plus 1 and 1/4. What I'm going to do first, if you remember, add the fractions. I'm going to add the fractions. Common denominator or not? No, mister. 4 and 8. What should I do? We're going to make them the same. How? Multiply here by 2 and up by 2. Why, mister? To make both 8. 2 times 4 is 8. Now, the first fraction, it will be the same. 1 and 7/8 plus the second one is going to be 1 and 2/8. Now, simplify or add first. Add the fraction. 7 plus 2 is 9/8 1 plus 1 is 2. You finished? Yes, I finished. It's right. But I tell you, take care. The 9 is bigger than the 8. When we add 7 plus 2 give you 9. It's bigger than the 8. What I'm going to do? First, I'm going to add 1 in here. To the 2, it will be 3. And minus 9 minus 8 is 1. So it's 1 over 8. I think it's easy, the easiest way. You can write here 7 over 8, and here is 2 over 8. The 2 over 8 is going to be give you, and here is the rest of the answer. Move to the second question with the same way exactly. I'm going to write it in here. 2 and 2 over 5 plus 5 and 5 over 6. I'm going to add both of them. Okay, mister? Give a look here. The 5 and 6 are different. What should I do? Can I make the 5 become 6? No. So I'm going to multiply by 6 up and down. And here by 5 up and down. Multiply the 6 by 5 and the 5 by 6. Now, what are the new fractions? It's a 2 and 12 over 30 plus 5 and 25 over 30. Add normally. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30. Add normally. The fractions first. Now it's going to be 25 plus 12. 5 plus 2 is 7. 2 plus 1 is 3 over 30. Then add the whole. 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay. Mister, the number up is bigger than the number down. So what should I do? The same way exactly. I add 1 in here, then minus 7 plus 1 is 8. 37 minus 30 give you 7 over 30. I hope it's clear. You can replace now. This one is going to be 12, and this one is going to be 25, and this is the final answer. We're moving to question 5. 4 and 1 over 9 plus 1 and 1 over 3. I'm going to write them in here. 4 and 1 over 9 plus 1 and 1 over 3. I'm going to add the fractions only. Okay, add the fractions. 3 and 9, no, they are different. What should I do? I'm going to make them the same. Make a common denominator. Can I make the 3 becomes 9? Yes, sure. Multiply here by 3 and multiply here by 3. The new fractions will be 4 and 1 over 9 plus 1 and 3 over 9. We can add easily. 1 plus 3 is 4 over 9. Then the whole numbers. 1 plus 4 is 5. We finished. I make sure that the number down is not bigger than the number up is not bigger than the number down. The 4 is less. Yeah, it's okay. So it means I finished. I hope it's clear. The last question, and got it? 6 and 5 over 12. 4 and 5 over 8. I'm going to write them in here again. 6 and 5 over 12 plus 4 and 5 over 8. Okay, I'm going to add the fractions first. Mister, can I make the 8 becomes 12? No, I cannot. So what should I do in this case? I multiply the 8 by 12 and the 12 by 8. Yes, it works. But you are going to simplify later. So what should I do? I need the least common multiple. Take the 12, multiply it by 2, double it, so it's going to be 24. Okay, this 24 can divide it by 8. I can divide it by 8. Yes, so it works. I'll make both becomes 24. Okay, so how can I make the 12 it becomes 24? Multiply it by 3. I'm sorry, by 2. And up and down. How can I make the 8 becomes 24? Multiply it by 3. Up and down. The new fractions will be 6 and 10 over 24 plus 4 and 15 over 24. Add the fractions. 15 and 10 is 25 over 24. And now 4 plus 6 is 10. You finished? Yes. But as I said many times, make sure the number up is less than the number down. It's bigger, mister. What should I do? As usual, add 1 in here and subtract. I'm going to write in a small handwriting in here. It's 10 becomes 11. 25 minus 24 is 1. And the denominator is still the same, 24. I hope you understand this part of today's lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, grade 5. This is the second part of lesson 7.8, add mixed number. Add mixed number. In the first part, we mentioned the word mixed number is a mix of a whole and a fraction. So it's a whole number plus a fraction, like 3 is a whole, and 1 over 5. So 3 and 1 over 5 is called a mixed number because it consists of a whole, just like 3, and a fraction like 1 over 5. And we mentioned in the first part of today's lesson how to add the mixed number. Today, inshallah, we're going to start directly from the independent practice. All of you, let's move to independent practice. Here we go in problem 7. We need to add 3 and 1 over 6 plus 5 and 2 over 3rd. I'm going to write it in here down. 3 and 1 over 6 plus 5 and 2 over 3. We mentioned you should add the fractions first. So I'm going to add 2/3 and 1 over 6. But both of them have different denominator. Here is 3 and here is 6. I should have a common denominator, the same number down. So what should I do? Can I make the 3 become 6? Yes, I can. I can multiply by 2. But don't forget to multiply up and down to keep the fraction balanced. Okay, now the first fraction is going to be the same, the first mixed number, 1, 3, and 1 over 6, plus the second one is going to be 5 and 4 over 6. 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. Now you can add normally, add the fractions first, 4 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 4 plus 1 is 5 over 6. Now you add the mixed, the whole number, okay? 3 plus 5 is 8. Before I finish, make sure that you have a smaller numerator. 5 is smaller than 6, so it works. It's simple. Let's move to 8, and I have in here 11 and half plus 10 and 3 over 5. As we agreed, we should add the fractions first. Okay, add 1 over 2 and 3 over 5. Mister, they have different numbers down. They have different denominator. I should have a common denominator. How can I make it? Can I make the 2 becomes 5? Can I make the 2 becomes 5? No. So what should I do in this case? I'm going to multiply them by each other, or take the multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, and see, can I make them becomes or divided by 2? So the multiple of 5 is 10. Can I make the 10 becomes 2? Yeah, I can. So I'm going to multiply here by 5, up and down, and here by 2, up and down. Now the new fractions, the new mixed number is 11 and 5 over 10 plus 10 and 6 over 10. 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 5 is 10. Now add the fractions first. I'm going to add 6 and 5. 6 and 5 is 11 over 10. Now add the mixed number. The whole numbers. 11 plus 10 is 21. 11 plus 10 is 21. I finished? Yes, I finished. I said, wait a minute. Make sure that you have a smaller numerator. This 11 is bigger than the 10. This 11 is bigger than the 10. So what should I do in this case? Add 1 to 21, so it will be 22. Then subtract. 11 minus 10 is 1. And keep the same denominator, 10. So again, subtract, then add 1. Or add 1, then subtract. So this is the final answer. I hope it's clear. We're moving to question 9. Okay, so in question 9, we have in here 9 and 3 over 16 plus 7 and 5 over 8. How can I solve it? It's very easy. Number 1, I'm going to add the fractions. But mister, both have different denominator. Can I make the 8 become 16? Yes. I'm going to multiply here by 2, multiply up by 2 as well to keep it balanced. This one is still the same, 3 over 16. And this one is going to be changed. 5 times 2 is 10 over 16. Now I think you have a common denominator. Add the fractions first. Add the fractions first. 10 plus 3 is 13 over 16. Then add the whole. 9 plus 7 is 16. And I hope it's clear and easy. 5 and 6 over 7. I'm going to write it here. 5 and 6 over 7. Plus 8 and 1 over 14. Okay. They have a common denominator? No, they don't. So what should I do? Can I make the 7 becomes 14? Can I make the 7 becomes 14? Yes, I can multiply here by 2, up and down. Okay, now you can multiply up and down. 5 and 6 times 2 is 12 over 14 plus 8 and 1 over 14. What should I do now? I'm going to add the fractions first. 12 and 1 is 13 over 14. 5 plus 8 is 13. I think it's easy and clear. Let's move to question 11. 4 and 1 over 10, I'm going to write in here, plus 6 and 1 over 2. I'm going to add the fractions first. Half and 1 over 10. No common denominator, so I'm going to make the 2 becomes 10, can I? Yeah, I'm going to multiply by 5, up and down. So the new fraction will be 4 and 1 over 10 plus 6 and 5 over 10. Now you can add easily. I'm going to add 1 plus 5 equals 6 over 10. Then add the whole numbers. 4 plus 6 equals 10. Okay, now mister, I finished. Yeah, make sure that the number up is smaller than the number down. Yeah, it's smaller, so it's finished. But can I simplify more? If you want to make like this, I can divide here by 2 and divide here by 2. Okay, so the final answer is going to be 10 and 3 over over 5. 10 and 3 over 5. If you want to make this step, it's going to be better. Okay, we'll move to question 12. 9 and 7 over 12 plus 4 and 3 over 4. Huh? With the same idea exactly. Can I make the 4 becomes 12? Yes, I'm going to multiply here by 3 and up by 3 as well. Now it's going to be 9 and 7 over 12 plus 4 and 9 over 12. Okay, now we add the fractions. 7 plus 9 is 16 over 12. Okay, 9 plus 4 is 13. Now we finished, mister? I said, wait a minute. Make sure the number up is smaller than the number down. Okay, 16 is bigger. So what should I do? I'm going to add 1 in here, so it will be 14, and subtract. 16 minus 12. 16 minus 12 equals 4 over 12. Now we finished? Yes, you finished, and it's enough for me. But this fraction is not simple. This fraction is not simple. What should I do, mister? I'm going to divide in here by 2, by 4, I'm sorry, and here by 4 to make it simple. Now it's going to be 14 and 1 over 3. I think it's easy and clear. Let's move to question 13. 5 plus 3 and 1 over 8. So someone said, mister, this is only a whole number. It doesn't have a fraction. So it's okay. It's better for me. It's super easy. What I'm going to do, add the fractions, but no fractions in here. So it's the same like you add 0. 1 over 8 plus 0 means 1 over 8. Then add the whole. So 5 plus 3 is 8. You can start definitely with the whole. 5 plus 3 is 8 and 1 over 8 keeps the same. So this one is, or this part is the easiest. Move to the last question that we have in here. 8 and 3/4 plus 7 and 3/4. Mister, I have a common denominator, so it's easy for me. I'm going to add directly. Add 3 plus 3 equals 6 over 4. 7 plus 8 equals 15. Now you finished? Yes, but make sure that the number up is smaller than the number down. The numerator is smaller, but it's bigger. What should I do? As we agreed before, I'm going to add 1 in here to be 16 and minus 6 minus 4 is 2 over 4. Is it simple, mister? I don't know. No, I said, wait a minute. 2 and 4, we have a common number. I can divide both by them. I can divide here by 2, and I can divide here by 2. So it will be 16 and 1 over 2. You can figure it out without dividing. 2 over 4, 2 is the middle of 4, or half of 4, so it equals half. Half equals 2 over 4, 3 over 6, 5 over 10. So I can find the answer without doing this operation. Let's move to the word problems. We have in here, use the map to find the answer. What is the distance from the start to the end of the trail? This is the start, guys. And we have 2 parts in here. We have in here bird lookout, and we have here the end. The first question, what is the distance from the start to the end? We need to add the 2 fractions or the 2 mixed number that you have. So to solve question A, I'm going to use this space as a draft. So it's a 3 and 7 over 8 plus 2 and 5 over 6. Okay, how can I add these 2 numbers, guys? I can make a common denominator. 6 and 8. Can I make the 6 becomes 8? No. So what should I do? Multiply them? Multiply them. 6 times 8 and 8 times 6. It can be. But the easiest way is to use multiples of 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16, I can't divide it by 6. So multiply by 3. Give you 24. Can I divide it by 6? Yes, I can. So I'm going to make both as 24. I'm going to make both as 24. So here's going to multiply by 3, up and down. And here's by 4, up and down, to make it 24. Now the new fraction is going to be 3, and 3 times 7 is 21 over 24. Okay, plus 2, and 5 times 4 is 20 over 24. Okay, now we add the fractions first. Add the fractions. So it's going to be 20 plus 21 is 41 over 24. 2 plus 3 is 5. The number up is bigger than the number down. So we add 1, then subtract. We add 1, then subtract. Okay, so it's going to be 6 and subtract. 1 minus 4, it can't be. 11 minus 4 is 7. This one becomes a 3 minus 2 is 1, 17 over 24. So this is the answer of the first part. I'm going to name it as A in here. Okay, 6 and 17 over 24. We're moving to the second question. Louise walked from the start of the trail to the bird lookout and back. So give a look here, guys, for this guy. He didn't continue in here. He just go to from the start to the bird lookout, then go back in here again. Okay. Did she walk a longer or shorter distance? We need to know. It's shorter than the finishing to the end or longer. Okay. We have two ways to solve this question, guys. I can add them and compare the fractions, or I can use estimation to find. But the easiest way for me now, I think, is to add. So she walked from the start to the bird. So it's a 3 and 7 over 8. I'm going to add it twice because she went back. So I'm going to add the two fractions in here first. 7 and 7 is 14 over 8, and 3 and 3 give you 6, okay? So now 14 over 8, 14 over 8, the 14 is bigger than 8. So I'm going to add 1 to the 6 to be 7, and make minus 14 minus give you 6 over 8. Without simplification, guys, who is bigger? The 7 and 6 over 8, or 6 and 17 over 24? 7 or 6? 7 or 6? I think 7 is bigger. So I can say here, she walked longer. I'm going to write it in here. She walked longer. Okay, we'll move to the third question that we have in here. Another day, Louise walked from the start of the trail to the end. So from the start to the end. Okay. At the end, she realized that she forgot her binoculars at the bird lookout. So she forget something in here. So she went back to this distance. Then she go back to the end point. What is the total distance in here? I'm going to add all of this, but give a look here, guys. From the start to the end, from the start to the end. So I have in here 6 and 17 over 24. I bring it from up. Okay. Now I'm going to add it to this distance. 2 and 5 over 6. 2 and 5 over 6. Then I'm going back. So 2 and 5 over 6 again. Okay, now I need a common denominator to solve. What should I do? I'm going to multiply by 4. And here by 4. Don't forget to multiply up as well. Now it's 6 and 17 over 24 plus 2. 5 times 4 is 20 over 24. And the last one that I have 2 and 20 over 24. You can add the fractions first, 20 and 20 and 17. So 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 plus 17 is 57. Okay, 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 plus 17 equals 57 over 24. add the numbers. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10. Okay, so it is going to be 10 and 57 over 24. Okay, mister, the number up is bigger. The number up is bigger than the number down. What should I do in this case? I'm going to subtract, as we mentioned before. We have many ways to solve this question, guys, but I'm going to choose the easiest. Subtract, okay, and add 1. So it's going to be 11. And subtract 7 minus 4 is 3. And 5 minus 2 is 3 as well. Over 24. Okay, mister, the number up is still bigger. The number up is still bigger. What should I do? Subtract again and add 1. So it's going to give you 12. And subtract 3 minus 4, 13 minus 4 is 9. Okay, and 2 minus 2 is 0 over 24. So it's 12 and 9 over 24. You can keep it the same, or you can divide it by 3 as well. So the final answer in here is 12 and 3 over 8. So 12 and 3 over 8. I hope it's clear. I hope you understand it. Let's move to question 22. We have in here, John added 7 and 7 over 12 and 5 and 2/3 and got 7 and 1/4 as the sum. Is John's answer reasonable? Explain. So guys, it's easy and clear. I can use estimation or I can use addition. So I'm going to use addition, better for you. 2 and 7 over 12 plus 5 and 2 over 3. So the 3 and 12, I'm going to multiply the 3 by 4. I'm going to multiply the 3 by 4 up and down. So now it's going to be 2 and 7 over 12 plus 5 and 8 over 12. You can add them. 8 plus 7 is 15 over 12, and 2 plus 5 is 7. Look, this number is bigger than the number down. What should I do? Add 1, so it will be 8, and subtract 3 over 12. 15 minus 12 is 3 over 12. You can simplify as well by dividing by 3. I can divide here by 3 and divide here by 3. So the final answer is 8 and 1 over 4. Okay, so this guy said it's 7 and 1 over 4. Do you think he's correct? So I'm going to write, no, he's not correct. Or his answer is not reasonable. I'm going to write in here, his answer is not reasonable. Mister, can I answer this question without doing all of these operations? Yes. So just concentrate with me. Here, 2 and 5. 2 and 5. Give a look here. I'm going to write in here again. 2 and 7 over 12. And here, plus 5 and 2 over 3. He said equals 7 and quarter. Look, the 2 plus 5 only equals 7. So these two numbers should give you 1 over 4. If you add this fraction and this fraction should give you 1 over 4 to make his answer correct. But do you think this one and this one equals 1 over 4 quarter? This one is bigger than half. So bigger than half. And this one is bigger than half. So look, it is going to give you 8. Not 7 and 4 quarter. So his answer is not reasonable. If you understand by this way, it's okay. If you understand this way, it's okay. I hope you understand this part of today's lesson, and I hope the lesson is easy for you. See you in the next lesson, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.